Super lazy and don't have time to make something interesting world. Which... There we go, it actually loaded. It was weird. Point of advice. 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 That was a quicker point of advice. That is silly. Super cool level land, or super cool land 1-1. Alright. Is this super cool? Will this be a point of advice? You can hold L and R at the same time to quickly restart the level. Yeah, I can. Cool. But why? So far, nothing seems that dangerous. Maybe they're worried I'll get soft-locked from doing something stupid. It's always a possibility. Too many idea, and the idea of looking through them comes... Which one's the closest too much? They all die. Ah, I could see it. Seems very, like, dedicated the idea of doing an upper and lower section. Which is interesting to me. I'm just gonna wait for the Pokey so I can jump up to the upper section. Nice chilled song. Good place to start for the day, I think. Oh, I missed. Pokey. No, you come back. We need a little bit higher. There's a moon over there. There are like a lot of little secrets. Whoops. It's a lot of little bits. I just got the vague feeling like there's a gimmick in the way this is specified that I haven't figured the gimmick itself out. Ah. Could I have made that? Like, I wonder if this is like a hold down and right kind of level. There's something about the level design that's a little bit odd to me. Not bad, just odd. There's another moon. There's a lot of moons here. Typically, people would usually stick with the 1 moon per level standard, but one is breaking all the rules. Highly questionable. No power-ups, though, just moons. Moons over me hammy. I've never actually had a moons over my hammy. Don't go to Denny's enough to justify such a thing. It was at Denny's. Feels like it was like last year, maybe. Nope, another mushroom. Oh. I keep thinking when I see this pattern... That was silly of me. Alright, try the auto level. No, it's clearly not. It's a weird combination of things, but maybe it just comes down to the super I didn't have time to make something better world aspect of it. This isn't bad for what it is, like, I'm enjoying myself playing it. Oh. What? Why did my... There's a sprite killer there. Why is there a sprite killer there? Huh. Yeah, I wasn't expecting my shell to go poof, but here we are. I'll do it. It wants me to do. Oh, hello. What? It was a midway that took me back here. Wait. Oh, you! I understand now. My ability to run has been curtailed. That explains the this explains the difficulty curve substantially. Because now I have to use sliding and some of the things here that are make it possible to do this. I didn't expect to get twice. Not complaining, mind you, but, you know, just didn't expect it. Also explains the lack of power-ups and things. No, what? I can't grab things either. So my guess is all this does is it, like, ands it such that, X and Y are disabled in terms of how it's implemented if I can't hold items or run. Which makes this, well, I would say more dangerous, but, you know, we just took care of that business. And yeah, Sprite Killer. Don't know why. It explains that Koopa. Hello. No thank you. At least we get to see the rest of the level. But, yeah, I guess I have to go down the pipe. Okay, what do we have now? Okay, it's airlock. Which is to say, once I'm in the air, I can't change my direction. Or lower my speed. Alright, this has legs. Initially, I thought this level was just going to be kind of lame. These little jumps are the ones that actually get you. Oh, whoops. Whoops. For some reason I thought I would need more. Well, okay. Well. Oh. That didn't help. Anyway. The major news of the last couple days is that the Pokemon Pinball Machine, they lifted the NDA for people who had played it last week or so. And so now we know a lot more about it. Which is to say, like, it has Pikachu, surprising no one. It's got some interesting stuff going on. Okay, this time we're not going to mess it up. Doesn't seem to have much of a difference between the fancy version and the not-so-fancy version, which is kind of nice. Major difference being approximately one scoop and a Pikachu head that moves back and forth. Why can't I make this jump? Oh! Oh, because I've rubbed up against the side of the object. Right, okay. I understand now. Well, we'll just take care of this guy first. But yeah, the funniest bit about it really is that they can't... Every single screen I've seen has, like, licensee agreement pending. What? If I touch a wall, I die? What? Am I I'm fragile, Mario? I don't understand yet. Okay. I'm not dead. Oh, now I'm dead. What? The floor is lava? Maybe. Yeah, it seems likely. Now, suddenly an awful lot of the level design is making even more sense. Yeah, I got too stuck on the idea that it was Mario's fragile bones. He didn't drink enough milk. Now fortified with vitamin K. Oh my. Okay, all of it. What's up, Oozius? Yeah, I was a bit weirded out at first. It's growing on me. I appreciate a good, like, twice style gimmick. Okay. Can I just make this jump? Does that help me? Nope, I need a spin jump. Can I spin jump off lines? I don't think the answer is yes. And talking briefly about the Pokemon Pinball Machine, which, I don't know, probably won't see for, like, in the wild for at least another month or so. Say Saddle of You? Yeah, that was my gimmick this QLDC, was putting in, please don't use this particular required piece of hardware I don't own. How you doing? Civ Ian. I think I got this right this time. Okay. Careful jump. Side View did seem cool, though. Okay. What do I do now? Maybe this is a vine? Nope. Dang it. Getting there? Well, one day, maybe. Some got it worst. The other thing I've done more recently is I've started watching the New Zealand version of Taskmaster, which is a bit weird. The hosts are very different from Greg and Alex. But they've had a couple of challenges where I'm like, this is actually the better version of this particular challenge. They had one where they had to make the most surprisingly good sausage. And, you know, I hadn't really considered it. But, you know, giving them sausage casing makes a lot of sense if you want them to make a surprisingly good sausage. Like, you kind of need that. Oh, I could stand on yellow. What's Taskmaster? It's a British show where British comedians go on and do various tasks. And then Greg Davies goes and grades their tasks, and eventually at the end of the season, they win. The person with the most points wins the stuff that was offered up as part of the prize task for the given episode. But beyond that, they also at the end win like Greg Davies' head. It's kind of weird. It's very British. Oh, absolutely. So, but it's a good time. I enjoy watching it. It's all free on YouTube. And they've been putting up the... Oh my. Wait, what? Why am I not dead? I don't understand why I wasn't dead there. What's up, Matt? Been okay, not remotely skilled enough to set up Discord replacement you want in the span of a week, so settle for Stowe for the time being? Ah, fair. My impatience will be my undoing. But anyway... I would say also they seem to get more unhinged people for the New Zealand one. Maybe that's just what New Zealand comedians are like. Also, New Zealand is a very small place. Considering asking me for assistance, I'm going to be completely honest. I am highly skilled in many areas. I am not a sysadmin type. My ops abilities are not grand. I'll tell you that right now. Like, I can do it if need be, but I'm not the kind of person who's like, oh boy, I made a Beowulf cluster this weekend. I've never been interested in the intricacies of setting up software correctly. Why is Pokey floating? Poke floats! Hey, that's relevant to our interests. Wait, I can actually retrieve this shell. I can keep the shell this time. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna do that. There's probably smarter ways of handling that, but... Poke float should be illegal. Just saying. Make it first, then make it pretty, or something like that? Yeah. I was thinking more, I knew that was gonna happen. The enemy of the good is the perfect. Sometimes it's better just to try out something. See if you like it. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Maybe that's another good idiom here. I don't remember if they did that, like, demonstrate an idiom well. Maybe that was in the New Zealand Taskmaster. The person chose their idiom out of, like, had the assistant, whose name in this case is Paul, like, Google a bunch of idioms. I also learned New Zealand has exactly one amusement park. It's called Rainbow's End, and it looks tiny. Yep, that's it. Oh, what's up, Author Blues? I'm doing well. How are you? Talking Taskmaster, playing QLDC. It is a good moment. Nope. There we go. It is such a fun show. Yeah, I've been trying out the New Zealand one. Working backwards? Oh, nice. Which season have you gotten to working backwards? Because I gotta say, like, it does get better to some extent. Like, the British version, they figured out some important stuff that they didn't in the early seasons. I think I just run off those. Yeah, that's much easier. What's up, Groovy Gadget? Just finished 14? Okay, so yeah, you're... I don't know if I've watched 14. Some of the later seasons I hadn't been watching so carefully. Sometimes I don't love the comics as much. I do love me the earlier seasons. I think I might have gotten to 14. Alright, let's see if this... I can do this without falling off. There we go. Alright, what does this one have entail? I don't have momentum. There's a key. I don't have momentum. Okay, well, not having momentum, I suppose, is fine. What am I supposed to do with this key? So I wasn't supposed to get this key. Oh, we're done with Dara Breen. Okay, yes. I know that one. Yeah, Dara, absolute... that season's actually really great. I love their, the first and final task pair. The pick 3 items to help you to complete a future task. And Dara's like, yeah, I'd like a couple pints of cider. And then maybe a person. You want us to rent you a person? Yeah, maybe someone... What kind of person? Oh, someone nice. Alright, well, I got my key. Right, what's the gimmick now? Does this actually change? No. Spin jump, I can hold items. No. Oh, I lost my key. The nice hired man. Nice rented man, yes. It's one of those things that, like, just different countries, different vernaculars throw me for a bit. When I went to Scotland, they don't put out signs saying to rent. They put out signs saying to let, which to the American mind reads as toilet. Because you're not looking at it too carefully, and the space between... No points. Okay. Reads that way. Yeah, you knocked that one out of the park, though. What was the other one in New Zealand terminology? Oh, yeah. So there was another bit of New Zealand terminology like I learned from watching the New Zealand version that threw me for a loop. A pot plant is something very different in the UK, in New Zealand. What a pot plant is what Americans would call a potted plant, as opposed to being a plant that is of some... Oh, right, I can't jump on anything. Strain of marijuana. It was a very odd thing, and then, like, the next episode, they had to bring in the best green thing, and someone brought in a joint. Which I guess is legal in New Zealand? I really don't know. Other one's calling peppers capsicums or something? One of the tasks was to fully enclose, or was to pick 2 vegetables, and fully enclose one vegetable within the other. Fully hide, I think was the term they used exactly. And, I'm just gonna wait. He's a red one. I can afford to wait. Always calls bell peppers capsicum. How interesting. Just not one of those things. There we go. This particular version level requires more thought than I was expecting. I can't go that way because that's full of coins. Is this airway safe? That's the point of this. There we go. I figured it out. I can only move while jumping. Okay. What was another weird British, like, vegetableism? Like, kale or something is called rocket over there? Which is just weird. Oh, I can't. But, well, you know, I think this is still going to work. I have to see if it's going to work. I have faith in Mario's static behind. There we go. You know, for stating that they didn't have time to make something good, it made surprising thing. Aubergines, yes. Arugula, thank you. I got my leafy greens mixed up. Yeah, aubergine is another fun one. I learned that's actually the French term for eggplant. As a comment on a YouTube video where I was talking about Taskmaster and playing Mario World. Oh, it was Super Mario Essex, that was it. One of the reasons I was bummed that Nintendo actually caught me for once. It's like, no, you cannot have your Super Mario Essex playthrough on YouTube. To which I'm like, well, at least they only took one down. But I liked that comment, so... Yeah, you're not up to it yet, but the hide the aubergine, to hide these 3 aubergines, is a fantastic task. Backwards. Okay, which way do I want to go here? Actually, I'm a little bit required to go... I think downward is actually still better. Yeah, I think downward's still better. Oh, I missed that. Tried playing 1,000 Year Door random, but it won't save things. Oh, that sucks. Means you gotta replay it sometimes. It's true. Well, I don't know. Basically, I don't want the giant shining eye of Sauron to come down upon me, and I figured that if I did it again, Nintendo might also get mad about that. Oh, what are we doing now? What? Oh, that's why we have the LR thing. I was wondering when sliding would come into it. Alright, so I have to do this much more carefully. The gimmick here, of course, is you can't gain left or right velocity, only slide. And I'm toast. Okay. I mean, it'd be better to play through it now because Max Whitten made the version of it of Super Mario World, Super Mario Essex that happens to actually work on hardware. Fixes a couple of weird bugs relating to like palette swaps and things, palette animations. I know this because he had me test it the other day. Okay, what do I do here? What am I thinking? Here we go. Not that. Oh. Dang it. Falling off that slope. I need one more jump, I think. I could have made it. I shouldn't go for the spin jump there. I should go for the regular jump. You love me some spinny jumps, but it doesn't help. Oh, wall. I'd say this is definitely the hardest of the set of the changes I've seen. Shake the hand off. I wanted to get the bounce, but the bounce probably wouldn't have been a good move anyway. Ugh. In other news, was looking at an old Angel Fire website, realized that Angel Fire is apparently going the way of the dodo. And there was one Angel Fire website that I like memorized from back in the day and was curious about. See if it was still up, and it's not. I don't know if they're having a transient error or something, but it looks like pretty much all of the old stuff is now giving 403 errors, which is an odd thing to do, instead of being 404 errors. 403 is forbidden, 404 is not found. So I went on archive.org, and you know what? It's surprisingly there. You know, it's only been up on the internet for 20 odd years, so you'd hope. Nope. So you'd hope that it would have a decent chunk of it. The Internet Archive being awesome that way. And one of the things I noticed in there is he had a piece of fan art for a supposed Final Fantasy XVII Eris Returns, which one is silly, but underneath 17, he's like, yes, definitely 17, and underneath for PlayStation 3, which made me wonder when this piece was actually made, because, you know, the PlayStation 3, dang it, has been out for a while now. I managed to track it down to about a 4-month period using Internet Archive tooling. My conclusion is he drew it sometime in the spring or summer of 2001. Which, when you think about it, the fact that he was supposing that there would have been a Final Fantasy XVII for the PlayStation 3, which clearly didn't happen, was very optimistic in retrospect. Because given that time frame, basically that's around consummate with Final Fantasy X coming out. It was around the same time it happened. But yeah, I kind of wonder, when you look at like old websites like that, what happened to those people. In this case, not impossible to find him, because he has a very generic name. If people put their names on their websites and actually have not generic names, it's not that hard to do a little bit of web sleuthing, or stalking, however you want to phrase it. Well, that's what you're supposed to do there. Ah, nuts. But this guy's name is so ridiculously ununique. So, would love to see that. And one thing he did mention in like his CV part of his website was that he had drawn for a specific publication. Which is where I remember seeing his work. And by publication, I mean a free newspaper about tech stuff that used to be just distributed in like little random boxes. It wasn't a bad read when you were waiting for the bus, effectively. That kind of thing you would look at. I would say The Stranger fits the same sort of mold, but not necessarily quite as good of one for a kid of my age at the time. Stranger being Seattle's alt newspaper full of banned things and ads that you shouldn't notice what they're actually for. Still around. I actually saw one the other day. I got some Thai food and they had a stack of them sitting there. Always surprised to see local press still around. Tell even I used to have two competing newspapers. And one even did an afternoon edition at the time. Of course, that doesn't happen anymore, because who actually reads newspapers? Can't remember the last time I actually sat down and read a newspaper. It's been a long time. Oh, no, wait, no, I do. I read a tiny bit of the tech at the Mystery Hunt this year. We hadn't fully started the hunt hadn't started yet. It was in that intermeeting time after they did the kickoff video and stuff. Because they can't really do an in-person kickoff because Kresge is currently under renovation and there's not really any place big enough for that number of people. Which is a little lame, I will admit. No. But someone had dropped off a few copies of the tech. And there's usually something in there relating to the Mystery Hunt eventually. There were some puzzles. That used to be one of those impressive things to do for your given puzzle hunt. Get like a fraction of a puzzle placed into a actual real publication. Non-trivial number of like New York Times crosswords have done that way. By that, would you mean the whole receiver or the BS cartridge or just a hack that makes me use 8 megabyte memory packs? Yes. How you doing, Max? Dagnabbit. I'm running out of official, like, accessories to put in there, is really what it means. So I need to actually, like, buckle down and successfully complete this sooner than later so I don't run out of accessories for the stupid gag. I guess, was the modem an official accessory? It might not have been. That might have been a third party, in which case I guess third party hard. Yeah, there's not much I can do, because I can't really get a slope the other way. No super tap? Super tap is probably the next obvious one. Saw a video demonstrating a super tap game, a Mario Kart style thing that supported up to 4 players. Which, dang, you better enjoy the 80 pixels you get for your screen. Still impressive. Or at least kind of cool. Yeah, I'd say it's impressive. Not that I want to play it, I don't care much for racing games. Right, no, I'm fine. That part there. What's up, show 'em Shimmy? How you doing? I'd have read the box early on. I would be hosed otherwise. I'm fine. I'm not fine. I make mistakes. Mistakes were made. What are we doing? This is a Mario level. It's a what's called known as a ROM hack, or a level pack, or a mod, depending upon who you have to ask and what level of censorship you have to apply to yourself. But basically, this is a unique and new thing that wasn't made by Nintendo, and I will really need that jump. There we go. But basically, I'm judging a contest of questionable levels, where each level is made by someone different. I think people can team up, but I don't remember. Nothing new. What's the gimmick now? And the gimmick in this level is every time I go through the pipe, I start back over at the start, but something has changed in terms of how I control Mario. And so far, this feels like there's no change. But we'll see if I get to the end and something happens. It's a relatively short level, but the gimmicks are interesting. Yep, that's the gimmick. Okay, I need the key. Oh, no, ROM hack is? Okay. Got that much faster than you did? For like 40 minutes. I've had some practice with that specific gimmick in the past. So when you asked what you're doing, I figured you needed a full explanation. Anyway, this is the questionable level design contest, and it's a good fun time. Oh, that's how you're supposed to do that part. But people submit weird and interesting ideas. This one was a shorter one, being a 72-hour contest. Which basically means that the people involved had 72 hours to design, implement, figure out what you're going to do and everything else, your level, and then submit the BPS via the forums at SMW Central, your place for SMW ROM hacking. And, I guess other things too, but mostly that. Mostly that. Some Yoshi's Island, but not very much these days. There we go. Like the game There's Only One Room? I suppose. I haven't played that one, unfortunately. But I would imagine similarities. Like, some of the rooms gave me, like, airlock, or I couldn't press left or right to add velocity. Acceleration? Acceleration. But yeah, that was cool. Super cool island, 1-1. Like, that was actually legitimately good. It definitely defied my expectations, because the first run through the level was... It's a Flash game? Ah, okay. Yeah, I played a lot of Flash games. I haven't played every Flash game. That would be too many games, and there'd be way too many that would be in Japanese and wouldn't want to stream. But I do miss old Flash games. They were a lot of fun. Part of the judging process, of course, is that I actually need to sit down and, well, I am sitting down, I need to write things. So let me get my sheet open here and proc the notes interface. There we go. And yeah, like I said, I enjoyed that level. I enjoyed Good Twice with gimmicks. This is a cute one.